Well, hello there. I'm MCToon, the second worst rapper in the world. How are y'all doing? So, let's see. StinkyCASH. He's a no-show. I didn't really expect him to show, so I'm going to review some videos from him. But before that, I thought I'd maybe review the video that I just did a couple hours ago. That was just a short one. So yeah, I was going to debate Simon P., and then he invited Mark Steele, who showed up just a couple minutes in. And Mark Steele proceeded to make lots of claims, to insult me a whole bunch, to say that I was a liar, but never once actually support his claims. He did cite two different studies, both retracted, or publications. He claimed that 5G is phased array. Therefore, 5G has been in existence as long as phased array has been in existence, which of course is not true at all. Phased array is one of the tools used in 5G, just like electricity is used and antennas are used, and power supplies are used and capacitors are used and relays are used, and it's just one of the many things that are a possible use as a tool in 5G. In fact, phased array in 5G is only in use by, I believe, Sprint, and only in the United States, and only in limited testing at the moment. It requires, because of the geometry of it, it works better with higher frequencies. So like 26 gigahertz to 40 gigahertz, that range. It doesn't work very well in the lower frequencies, like 6 gigahertz and lower. The deal is that you want the antennas separated by a certain amount. Mark doesn't understand this, I think. So like these antennas here could be, I don't know if this particular device is using phased array, or it's also called MIMO. I don't know if it is, but if it is, let's just say it is, it would use both antennas, and it would read from both antennas and send out from both antennas. So they need to be a certain distance apart. And so if you look at 2.4 gigahertz, which is what the original Wi-Fi is, it's I don't remember the exact wavelength, but it's somewhere in this area of size, the actual wavelength. So 6 gigahertz is going to be shorter, right? So you need to have your antennas separated by a certain amount related to the wavelength. So it doesn't work well. You can't pack a ton of antennas in the same space. So anyway, the higher frequency can do that. They can have in a very small area lots of antennas, and so then you can have what's called phased array. And phased array is a cool, awesome feature that is a safety feature of 5G, where you can get you can serve more customers with lower radio frequency exposure for each individual. So what it does is it pinpoints to the specific area where the handset is at, and that's where it focuses the power. Now, the power is the same as if it was just broadcasting, right? The power that's received is the same. So if they're like, well, I want to have 1 unit of power at this particular thing, then they'd focus it so that 1 unit of power got to that spot. And then everywhere else would have destructive interference and would have much less than 1 unit of power, even the ones that are the same distance away from the antenna. That's a health feature, a safety feature, an awesome, awesome benefit of 5G. So, AT2 says phased array are becoming the standard for airborne radar systems. AESA radars have to use phased arrays for the advanced electronic scanned array antennas. Very nice. Mandel says, stop saying smart things, get to the stupid. Oh, well, tell you what, here's what I want to do briefly, and I thought maybe you guys would want to help. The thumbnail for the video that I just did is this one. And I thought, you know what, that's not right, because Simon was just there for, comedy, really. So I need to update this, don't I? So I'm going to I'm going to get, I need to put Mark on there, don't I? Mark Steele. So let me jump here. I have a nice picture of Mark with his, when he's dual wielding sunglasses. I can't believe he's wearing 2 pairs of sunglasses in this particular. So let me see if I can find the picture of him wearing these dual wield sunglasses. I have a lot of, I gotta dig through a bunch of stuff. So there it is. Mark Steele with 2 sunglasses. And I've already edited, there you go, there's the edited version of it, where it's it's just his head cropped out. But I did do a, let's see, there it is. That's what I want. There's just his head. So we'll do that. We'll put that on here. And then, so is this interesting? I don't know if you guys, is this prison bars in front? Oh, Clive, you are genius. So, all right, you're going away there, Simon. And then I got to clean up that, a little bit of this. So, I don't know. You tell me, is it interesting to see a little bit of Photoshop here? So maybe he was sun gazing. It was funny because Simon tried to get him to admit to talk. He tried to get to talk about the Earth being flat, and of course Mark is not having any of that. But Simon has told me, quote, Mark Steele, I'm paraphrasing, not quoting, Mark Steele told me in private chat that he thinks the Earth is flat. He did that. So, sure thing there, Simon. Sure thing. I thought maybe it would be good also to... oh, you know what? I have this other one of Mark Steele with... on the top of the Dunning-Kruger curve. Maybe that was part of a different thing. So, do I have that? So in the video I did on Mark Steele, the first one I did put him on the peak of Dunning-Kruger on Mount Stupid, because he is quite stupid. Either he's stupid or he knows what he's doing and he's completely lying to everybody. It's one or the other. Either is pretty rotten. So, not finding. So I'm going to have to just get a Dunning-Kruger thing here on my own. So I am going to review. Oh my goodness. I'm going to review some StinkyCASH here, and StinkyCASH video. Let's see. All right. So here is, I'm going to drop that. There we go. So maybe I'll just do this, you know. I like that. I'm so great is at the top. So let's see. Let's get this here. Get his face on. Oh, that's me. That's not the right one. Gotta find. Oh, there it is. I know you don't see what I'm doing. These are, I'm editing layers and the ordering of layers. So there, this. Get him up there. I'm so great. There it is. I'll do something like that, but I won't finish it now. So, did StinkyCASH show up? I invited him. So what I did is I challenged StinkyCASH to come on, and I will pull up the challenge. You know, it was actually pretty nice, and he didn't like. He's like, show me this proof. So I'll do this. StinkyCASH. Don't know what he means by StinkyCASH. Like, he has some meaning to it, I'm sure, but he did this Flat Earth compilation thing. So, all right, I'm gonna quit Photoshop, jump over here, put this in so you can
well, then
see.
the moon was made for the months. The months. That's why we have the moon. The lunar cycle keeps track of the months. So what did the Vatican do?
So I did invite Irish Demon to join. He hasn't responded yet. So
that has the months linked to the moon. They will do anything to remove God from society, and they will do anything
so I
to do the opposite of what's true.
Is that
always?
That's not it.
I mean, I feel like I'm repeating myself.
The Flat Earth compilation must
videos,
watch
but this is
from
how
StinkyCASH.
they
It's
do
just
it.
a compilation of other.
They tell you that you evolved from nothing.
So here is. So a lot of people commented on this video. Then I requested it. So talk to MCToon ? From Rose Hulmaniac. But the actual one where I was like poking at him was by something debate. Spirited Debate. There it is. So this is the thread, and I'll read it. So he's having this conversation with somebody. He says, not a single experiment ever performed that's shown us we are on a globe. God, you are so ignorant and brainwashed. I said, well, there are millions of experiments and measurements that confirm the Earth is a globe and totally falsifies the idea of flat Earth. Which there are. So many. They just ignore them. Name one, bet you can't, because non-existent, ignorant fool. So I go, I challenge you to a live debate. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time. That's now. Time to put your flat Earth ideas to the test. Email me. He won't, right? So here's the good one. He says, well, wait. First, just name one experiment that proves the Earth is a spinning ball that orbits the sun. Then we can talk about debate. And if you know me, you know that wasn't difficult. It's on my website, mctoon.net/spin. Detection of Earth's rotation using superfluid phase coherence. Published in Nature, 10 April 1997. I go, now that I handled my part, make sure to send an email for that debate. Which you didn't. So there you go. So the globe was first theorized over 2,000 years ago, but wasn't proven until 1997? Oh, the straw man. I said, you asked for just one. I gave you one as requested. The date of the experiment wasn't in your request. So, Tuesday, 8 p.m., send that email, or do you prefer Discord? I'm being very nice, aren't I? He says, funny how you make demands as if I've known you for a long time. I've literally never heard of you until today. I find that very hard to believe. And after watching one of your videos, I could see that you are one of the biggest tools I have ever seen. Well, I guess he would be super confident in a debate against me. So, StinkyCASH, you asked to name one experiment. Then we'd talk about the debate. I named one experiment. We are now talking about the debate. I propose a structure. He says that experiment didn't prove anything, except that they reaffirmed the assumptions they had at the beginning. Sounds a little Oakley-ish there. And never considered any other alternative explanations for their conclusions. Well, he doesn't know what science is, but it's all right. It's called confirmation bias. It is not science. Actually, it's not called confirmation bias. It is science. You have a hypothesis. You test that hypothesis, and it's confirmed or rejected. It was confirmed. It is not proof. There's no proof. Nothing can prove anything in reality. It's evidence, and when you have lots of evidence, then you're quite certain. So there we go. I don't take demands from strangers or wannabes. Why are you so entitled? Like, so I quoted him. Just name one experiment. Then we talk about a debate. I'm holding you to your word. So, StinkyCASH, I'm holding you to your word. You said name an experiment. And I did. I named that a measurement of the rotation of the Earth. It's actually just a measurement. So, anyway, and I'll give you this video if anybody wants to, tell him what you think about his non-acceptance of the debate. pop it right in here. Maybe you all want to just, head over to that link right now and just give a little, whatever your thoughts are, whatever they might be. In the meantime, man, I've still got some throat stuff going on. Don't worry, I've got some tab, some high IQ tab open here. Does anybody know any Mercator Earthers? Oh, that's funny. So, all right. Let me check just to see if Irish Demon has responded. Otherwise, I'm going to jump into one of his videos. He has some very silly ones. I'm not going to show it because it's all Back to the Future, but he has a Back to the Future intro. He spotted the map, the Gleason. It looks like the Gleason timepiece in the intro to the Back to the Future movie, and he's like, Back to the Future has flat Earth map. It's proven. Like, nothing's proven because they did that. That's silly. So anyway,
Kristen Bonner will fight.
All right, come on. I need to get past the ad, and then I'll have to be listening. So, all right, come on. There we go. All right, so StinkyCASH. Let's see. I'm going to adjust that a little bit there so that we can see better. I want to see the... Why is it all right? All right, here we go. StinkyCASH. This is Flat Earth, the Moon Explained 100%. How much do you want to bet it's not explained 100%? Boolienator, is that actually... They actually still make tab. They do still make tab. But if you may know what's in here. It's not tab. You can wash the cache. Yes, says Slim Living Cyborg. You can wash the cache. Apparently, yeah. Anyway, so 33 said he would come on. Let me just before. Hold on a second. 33 said he would come on, but I said you gotta go on camera. So let's see. So, all right, here's the deal, 33. You can come on if you're on camera. So you just send me a message on Twitter, say I will be on camera. I'll send you the link. And if you're on camera, then people will see and hear you. If you're not on camera, then I'll just continue with what I've started here. So here we go. I bet you do, and I don't because, my Bluetooth disconnected. Just give me a second here. Right? I walked out of the room and power off, power on, connected. All right, so now I'll hear it.
StinkyCASH here. Today I wanted to talk about the moon. Last month, as you know, was the infamous blood moon. It had the entire mainstream media.
Dagnabbit. Hold on a second. Sound, live stream audio. There we go. It didn't connect. These MPOW headphones are okay. They're okay. They're a good price, but they don't.
Going nuts about the moon.
Always connect.
The moon was all the rage last month, and everyone was talking.
Heat Shield. What was Heat Shield saying? Where is Heat Shield? There. I just want to find out the timestamp for you regarding the thing we're just talking about. That lays the smackdown on steel. You'll be proud, I'm sure. Oh, I see. And PhD Tony. MCToon is a several Don black belt. He's not someone I would annoy. Just second, Don.
Talking about it.
Oh my goodness. All right, now I can hear. Yes, here we go.
I wanted to talk about the moon. Last month, as you know, was the infamous blood moon. It had the entire mainstream media going nuts about the moon. The moon was all the rage last month, and everyone was talking about it.
He does sound pissed.
But in this video, I want to talk about the phases of the moon and what causes them, how they occur. And I made some visual aids to make this easier for you to understand.
I'm sure it'll be all wrong.
But let's start off by going to Google and typing in lunar day. And when we type in lunar day and we click on the Wikipedia link, we could skip over this top definition, and what I'm interested in is this alternative usage definition. Now, the alternative usage definition says, the term lunar day may also refer to the period between moon rises in a particular location on Earth. This period is typically slightly longer, 50 minutes, than a 24-hour Earth day, as the moon revolves around the Earth in the same direction as the Earth's axial rotation. Now, a lot of that is bullshit, but what is important here is that it says one lunar day is 24 hours and 50 minutes. So if one solar day is 360 degrees, and we could round up to make this a little bit easier. If there are 24 hours in a day, that means the sun moves 15 degrees per hour.
He's missing sidereal day, but and it's part of the whole deal. But it's it's fine.
In the sky.
Close.
One lunar day, which is one 360-degree circle of the moon above the flat Earth, divided by 24.83 hours, or 24 hours and 50 minutes. That's roughly 14.5 degrees per hour.
Yeah.
So the sun moves 15 degrees per hour, but the moon is slightly slower. It only moves 14.5 degrees per hour.
And actually, the sun and saying they move in relation to the Earth is a little misnomer, right? Because everything's relative. If you use a sun-centered, sun-fixed coordinate system, then the sun doesn't move. The Earth rotates, right? But it's okay to say it's if you use an Earth-centered, Earth-fixed coordinate system, then that's kind of what he's talking about. So it's okay. And yeah, what he's missing, this is the interesting thing. The moon rotates orbits the Earth not east to west, but west to east, and it takes about 28 days to do one rotation. So if you take 28, divide that by 360, you get about half a degree per hour that the moon moves. And right there, he's totally nailed it. He came up to the same number. I've not reviewed this particular video. It's some prep work I was doing for tomorrow. So NANA for $6.66. Hail Santa says, how can you drink that poop emoji tab? Oh, wait, we have Moxie here in Boston. Carry on, Hail Santa. It's just water. I drank them before and during the red pill philosophy debate. But when I'm doing a flat earth stream, I just fill these up with water. Don't tell the flatties. I just like having open tabs.
This means that the moon loses 1/2 degree on the sun per hour. So if you calculate that for 24 hours in one day, that means the moon loses 12 degrees on the sun per day. 12 degrees per day times 30 days, which is roughly one lunar cycle, that gives you your 360 degrees. It's this 12-degree loss per day that causes the phases of the moon. So let's start off by taking a look at this image I've created. As you see, I've rotated the flat Earth map so that my longitude here in New Jersey is lined up with 180 degrees south.
Silly kid.
Or noon, solar noon. Okay? Solar noon is subject to change. During daylight savings, it's pushed back an hour. And depending on your location and your time zone, it could be different. So we can go on timeanddate.com and look up solar noon times for Atlantic City, New Jersey, which is pretty close to where I live. And it says,
I love that he's using this, because this particular, sun calc totally destroys flat Earth. But yeah, continue.
That on October 27th, 2015, solar noon will be at roughly 12:42 p.m. So we can go back to my visual aid here. This is an image of solar noon at 12:42 p.m. for Atlantic City, New Jersey. The sun is directly south of my location. Okay. Now we could fast forward 12 hours, make the sun and moon rotate in the sky. And 12 hours later, we're going to reach what I call solar midnight. And at solar midnight on a full moon, the moon will be exactly 180 degrees south of you. That's because during a full moon, like tonight, the sun and moon are exactly 180 degrees opposite each other. But what happens is if you were to take a look at the moon tomorrow night at the exact same time at 12:42 a.m., the moon's not going to be in the same spot. The moon is going to have lost 12 degrees over the course of that day. So now the moon is going to be here at 12:42. It's lost 12 degrees. The next day, on the 29th, the moon will be here at 12:42 a.m.
Wow, we put a lot of work into
And
this.
then here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and so on and so forth. And the moon will continue to lose 12 degrees per day. And when this happens, this causes the lunar phases. The lit side of the moon.
Now he's got a problem here. Just a little problem here. So this particular image, on his flat Earth map, the angle of the moon that's lit is about 45 degrees off. First, second, different people in different parts of the world, StinkyCASH, different people in different parts of the world would see a different part of the moon. You seem a little confused about this, so let's find here. Here's a good one, right? So again, the angle is about 45 degrees off. It would be here. Let's see if I can. All right, that's as close as I'll get. So there it is over the prime meridian. It looks like about almost. People in now it would need to be rotated this way a little bit, right? 45 degrees it's off in order to have the right portion pointing towards the sun. But so say people on that day, people in Africa, on the west coast of Africa, the east coast of Africa, or people in Indonesia or Japan would see the full face of the moon, right? And then people on the other side of Africa, say, in Togo or Ghana, they would see almost none of the moon. StinkyCASH, you have destroyed the flat Earth right here. You kicked a goal into our goal. You kicked the ball in. So thank you very much for that, StinkyCASH, for debunking your flat Earth idea. So maybe he's going to come up with some excuse here in a second. So let's see what he says here. Yeah, I mean, and look at like the even it never works. Oh my gosh.
This causes the lunar phases. The lit side of the moon always faces the sun. So because the moon is
and he doesn't have the lit side of the moon facing the sun.
Slightly slower than the sun, it loses 12 degrees per day.
Oh, come on,
And the change in the
StinkyCASH.
moon's positioning in the sky relative to the sun causes the lunar phases.
Terrible.
Now, technically, the 100% full moon in Atlantic City was on October 27th at 8:05 a.m. And this is what that would look like on the flat Earth.
No. It would not. Like, only the part facing the sun would be lit. The backside, the part visible from New Zealand in this example, they would see the unlit part of the moon. Oh, silly StinkyCASH.
I've set up my flat Earth map to be a 24-hour clock, and I've positioned my sun at 8:05 a.m., and I've positioned my full moon exactly 180 degrees opposite of the sun. So this is where the moon was in the sky when it was 100% full. Now, the positions of the sun and moon relative to each other in the sky causes the lunar phases, but this does not cause the lunar eclipse that we saw last month.
Ooh, so you're going to tell us this is the moon explained 100%. 7 minutes and 18 seconds, he completely explains everything there is to know about the moon. All those science classes, all the people that have focused on it and spent years studying it, never mind, you only need 7 minutes and 18 seconds.
The sun and the moon were in the exact same positions relative to each other that they are during every single full moon. Okay? Nothing different happened last month during the lunar eclipse.
Okay.
The only logical explanation that I could come up with is that last month, a third celestial body came down and crossed over the North Pole.
Wow, it's never been seen, never been measured. Wouldn't you, if you actually, this is just hypothesis for you, would you just go, test it maybe? Point a telescope up above the North Pole, see if it blocks out the stars. So, no.
And having this third orb in between the sun and the moon causes the lunar eclipse. So this month, the 100% full moon was at 8:05 a.m. The last month,
It just makes up crap.
the full moon was at 10:50 p.m., which here in Atlantic City
Precious.
was the exact time of the lunar eclipse. 10:50 p.m. was the exact middle of it. So that's the moon in a nutshell. I've been studying it for the last few months for about...
Few months, and this is all you get. Oh, dude. StinkyCASH. Terrible. Complete fail. You failed. You don't get 1%. You don't get an F. You get negative 33% on this test. You weren't just wrong. You were aggressively wrong.
4 or 5 lunar phases now. I've been observing and studying the moon. I think I've got it down to a science. And I believe that this is exactly what happens in the sky. The sun and the moon...
He believes. It's just a faith thing. Flat Earth is a religion.
...are creations, and they work in tandem with each other, and it is a work of art. It is absolutely perfect the way this...
Except everything you said is wrong. Doesn't work the way you said. Your hypothesis is falsified.
works. The sun is the hour hand on a 24-hour clock. It gives us our days. It gives us our seasons. And the moon keeps track of the months. The months. We're 30 days, 1 month, 1 lunar cycle. So that's all I got for you today. I hope this video was informative. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if
I'm going to give it a thumbs down. Everybody, you do what you want. I'll put it in the chat there if you want. Just give him a thumbs whichever way you want for his moon 100% explained joke. It's really a joke. Really a joke. All right, so let's see. International Space Station flies over Citi Field. Yes. Frank Knight learned that he's an idiot. Yep. Your hopes are dashed, Stinky. Exactly. We learn how stupid people can be. One more visit before kids go to school. Oh, Stringer News 1. Oh, Stringer News 1 is here. Let's... I forgot at the end of the last stream, he commented, he did a super chat just before I finished, and I didn't read it out. He said, a phone next to your head has far more field strength than all the antennas on a cell tower a mile away, and the phone puts out 0.04 watts peak, less RMS. So there you go, and it's down here. Oh, he has comments turned off. The brave person. Yes, I do have the Lego ISS right there. Where is it? Yeah, I haven't assembled it yet. I'm going to probably assemble it on a live stream with Punchy sometime. So there you go. All right. Comments are off. Well, you can give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, as is your want. But he failed. Completely failed. He debunked Flat Earth himself. So thank you. Thank you, StinkyCASH, for debunking Flat Earth. And it wouldn't have been so, oh my goodness, so bad if you had just, maybe come on. Stinky, you could have come on. All you had to do is come on. So let me check my email. No email from StinkyCASH. So, all right, space station flies over. Getting past the intro there. So here we go. No, like I said, I've not previewed these. We'll see.
What is that, Keith?
I believe that's the International Space Station that's flying overhead.
Really?
Yes, it's visible.
How close do we think that is?
I have no idea. Just a friend told me that around 8:15 it would be flying overhead coming from the northwest and exiting the New York area to the southeast.
So this is like a baseball game, and the commenters are talking about it. So, again in slow motion. Yeah, it's not a very good video of it. It's moving all around.
I believe that's the International Space Station that's flying overhead.
Oh, so since you couldn't see the live stream at the moment, it's debunked? Is that it? Is that your level of evidence? Your standard of evidence is if a live stream isn't currently playing, then it's fake. If they were faking it, wouldn't they just do a live stream whenever you thought they should? Worst fake ever if they're doing that, right? Right. That's all you got, dude. How's that a fail? It's not. And how do you know it was at the same time? Like, did you pull that up during the show? I don't know. I mean, maybe you did, but don't, Anyway, pretty lame standard of evidence for him, but that's typical for flat earthers. They don't really care. So, all right, Lael is here. Let's see, am I getting them? Yeah, Lael is here, says, with analogy of the clock, give me an example of a light source that is unobstructed that would not light the entire clock. Yeah, the whole face of the clock would be lit. Unless there's things in the way. Nope, on flat earth, there's nothing in the way. So, PhD Tony for 5 Australian says, you make us, all us angry debunkers, look horrible with your cool, calm, and collected mien. Have some worthless Australian money. Well, Australian money spends just fine. So thank you for your worthwhile Australian money. So 33's in the chat. I told him he can come on if he gets on camera. Here's my mason jar, because you think I'm a mason. Okay, so let's see. Flat Earth and the GoPro deception. So let's see what he has in store for us here. I'll get past the little intro. Oh, there it is.
So hey guys, StinkyCASH here. Today I just want to talk about this article that was shared by just about every single Zionist-owned news network.
Wow, right there, he's an anti-Semite already. Just because he thinks, well, not just because I don't know who owns them, but he's claiming that all of the news networks are owned by a certain particular religious group. So, yeah, he's got that problem going for him. So, yes, StinkyCASH. Yeah, so how can you not despise a guy that's like that? So, I'll play the speed a little quicker.
About this GoPro balloon that soared to nearly 100,000 feet and got great camera footage of the Grand Canyon. Now, this image that they're using as the thumbnail clearly shows a curve. And I, StinkyCASH, am admitting to you that this image is genuine. This image was taken by a camera 100,000 feet in the air. 100%. I'm telling you. Now, you might be wondering, how can a flat earther like myself be admitting that this image is genuine? Well, let's click the article. Let's watch the video for ourselves. 10:46 a.m. The balloon goes up. Now I'm going to pause it every once in a while.
Did you all watch Mr. Sensible's balloon thing, Mage? I hope you did. Could somebody grab his channel, drop it in the chat? He sent up his own camera. There's some issues. Watch it. It's good. He's doing a second one, so it's gonna be good.
And I'm gonna show you different things that I see right away, right in the first freaking 10 seconds. Watch this. See how the horizon is already starting to curve only a few feet off the ground? See how dramatic that curve is?
So the question I have for you, StinkyCASH, is, was this video presented as, here's the proof the Earth has a curved horizon? Or was this just, here's a GoPro from 100,000 feet? It's just a GoPro from 100,000 feet. It's
all right, we're just going to watch this together for a little bit. The horizon is constantly bending, curving, changing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Slope. Right there.
We don't.
This is actually inverted.
Yeah, we're not claiming
the camera lens that they attach.
We're not claiming that this is proof of the curved horizon. This a GoPro camera is not a great lens, but of course, when the horizon crosses the middle, that's an important time because the curve is controlled.
Attached to this balloon is a GoPro, fisheye, or wide-angle lens, whatever you want to call it. But what it does is it bends straight lines. It bends the horizon, which is always flat. Yeah. And not only does it bend it concave, it also bends.
It's always flat. Okay, so there's a claim without evidence. We'll see if he provides evidence for that.
It's convex. It goes both ways. Okay, and we're only a couple, maybe a couple hundred feet off the ground at this point, and we're already seeing the deception. Let's fast forward just a little bit.
What deception? It's just
Look
a
how
GoPro
flat,
camera.
Slightly curved this horizon is. Let's keep watching. Now look at it. There's the Grand Canyon.
So what?
Now look at it. Now look how dramatic the curve. The curve keeps changing. This isn't proof of anything. People like to share this video as proof of a globe.
Do they? I mean, maybe they do. This is from 2015, but I haven't seen people like if there's a fisheye lens, I'm not sending it. Don't send. I wouldn't send. Don't anybody send a fisheye lens of. So.
This isn't proof of anything. This is proof of a flat horizon and a flat Earth.
No, it's not. It's not proof of a flat horizon.
And camera deception. See how dramatic that curve went? A couple seconds ago, the curve was inverted. Okay?
Oh.
Don't share this video as proof of a ball Earth.
Yeah.
You're only
Definitely use a rectilinear lens camera.
making yourself look foolish. And if you were to follow this curve and finish it to complete a whole circle, you're pretty much telling me that the Grand Canyon is like 10 or 20% of the whole Earth.
Oh, he's so
That's not how
angry.
it works, okay? The horizon is flat, and it's the camera lens that's bending this horizon.
Where's the proof of that? Where's the evidence that the horizon is flat there, buddy?
Flat and at eye level. Doesn't matter how high up you go.
It's not at eye level here. It's way above eye level here.
The sky. The horizon will always remain flat.
He's making all these claims.
Will always be at the eye level of the observer.
No.
Okay, this is how vanishing point of perspective works. Let me see if I get a good shot so I can explain.
Poor scumball liar.
The ground, which is below the camera, appears to disappear going up in your frame of view. Okay, even though we live in a 3D reality, we can only perceive it in a 2D way. Okay.
Yeah.
So the ground, as it gets further away, disappears going up. The sky, which is above you, as it gets further away, disappears going down. Now the ground and the sky will meet at what's known as the horizon, which is a flat.
Oh my goodness, I've never seen this here. Our eyes visually intersect the parallel lines at the horizon. Actually, this image, so this is an orthogonal view. The top one is correct. The bottom one is supposed to be showing what we see, but it's wrong. Because he has straight lines, they should be asymptotes. It's a tangent function, and so the line should be coming down and approaching the intersection, but never touching it. So he has them touching at a certain point. But he's missing that you can have. All you need is a better device to view something, and it can resolve more detail. Poor sad Flurf.
Flat meeting point, a flat horizon.
Ooh. Don't say orthogonal 2 more times or the mind of God will appear. Really? Will he appear if I say orthogonal again? Let's see.
Which will always be at your eye level. It doesn't matter how high up you go. This camera is about 100,000 feet.
Okay. Enough of that positive claim. MCToon.net. Let's see if I have anything about the horizon rising to eye level. Oh, look at that. The horizon does not rise to eye level. The claim is that it rises. It always rises to eye level. And Samuel Robotham in his book, page 172, said, the surface of the sea appears to rise up to the level or altitude of the eye. But he didn't really test it. Let's see. That's not very well centered. Let me fix that for you a little bit. Fixing. Now you'd see all my tabs. I have so many tabs open. But I need to fix, make with the fix. There we go. All right. So the main surveyor, I love that guy. He's going to be on here in a little bit. He measured the drop of the horizon. It's so easy to do. All you need is a theodolite. Now, it's not easy to get your hands on a theodolite. It costs money. Or you could, get a job doing survey work. So there it is. The horizon does not rise to eye level. Samuel Rowbotham claimed collimation is the reason why that happens. Always, for some reason, it's just a hand wave dismissal. So to avoid collimation errors, which are real, surveyors flip the telescope and rotate it, right? So what happens is anything that was previously being given you an erroneous reading up now gives you an erroneous reading down. And when you measure, you average them. But here you can see the second image is the same telescope flipped in reverse. So no collimation errors, because if there was collimation error, then the crosshairs would be as far below the horizon on the bottom image as they were above on the top image. So no StinkyCASH. I hope you're watching. You're wrong. The horizon does not rise to eye level. In fact, it never does when measured. So, and here is the measurement. He actually tipped down the telescope so that the crosshairs hit the horizon. 269 degrees, 59 arc minutes, and 10 arc seconds. It's just below that. And then he measured it 20 times, 10 on each face, and got his average dip of 7 arc minutes and some number of arc seconds, I believe. So, yep, 739. You can look at it on my website, StinkyCASH, MCToon.net, and see it there. So, there you go. You missed it. StinkyCASH, you totally screwed up. Yes, Nerd Angle says always important to calibrate your tools. So yeah, there are some very nice instructions on YouTube showing how surveyors are to test their instruments to see if they are within their margin of error measurements. You go back a certain distance and you put a mark on your wall and you measure it and you flip it around, you measure it again. And if it's within a certain amount, it's acceptable. And if it's over a certain amount, you have to bring your instrument in to be calibrated. But that doesn't actually make it makes it so that the precision is affected, right? But you still can average them. It just ruins your margin of error a little bit when you do your averaging. So, but yeah, that's totally fine. I don't know why he's... I mean, I know why. Because they have to lie to support their stupid claims. Ranger Man 9404. Flirts are lucky to get a job washing dishes. Yes. Well, or, a taste tester at the crayon factory.
Up. All that's happened is the horizon has remained flat, and it's continued to rise with the camera.
So, this horizon isn't actually flat. It's a little convex.
If you were living on a ball, the higher up you go, the further down you would have to look to see the horizon. Okay, can you picture that? Maybe I'll give you a little visual here. The higher you go, the further down you would have to look to see
that's
the horizon.
right.
If you were to go so high up, eventually you would have to look straight down to see the horizon of the ball Earth.
Yeah,
but that's not
sure.
what happens in reality.
But that is what happens in reality. There's a formula for that even. Al-Burundi used it to measure the radius of the Earth. So, successfully. And it's actually, the main surveyor used it in here. He has it in, I'll zoom in on it. He has, I think there it is. There's the formula. Right there. StinkyCASH. That's the formula. The radius is h. That's the height. Is it the height of the observer? Yep. Times cosine of the angle dip over 1 minus cosine of the angle dip. Now, the angle dip was 7 minutes 39 seconds of degree, right? And let me shrink that a little so it all fits in. So there you have 72.13 plus 4.80 times, right? So there's the the height. That's his height. 72.13 is the height of the ground, and then his instrument is 4.8 feet above it. Times cosine of 7 degrees, 1 minus cosine, right, on the bottom there, and that gives a value of 31,070,599 feet, or 5,884.58 miles. Now, there is refraction. You don't get to ignore that. So the U.S. Geological Society uses it's the K value, the coefficient of refraction, uses 4/3 R, which is right here, this top one, which is due to refraction. Now, he didn't measure the temperature. He doesn't know the lapse rate there. It's difficult to know the lapse rate. But he did confirm it. Now, here's the thing flat earthers sometimes miss. They're like, well, that's the apparent horizon, blah, blah. It's not real. Of course, yeah. You control for those things. And so what happens is the horizon rises due to refraction. And if after rising, it's still below eye level, then what? It's curved. It's a sphere. So that's what that means. All right, StinkyCASH. This is free education. I hope you're watching. So
Not one single time in reality where you will look down to see a true horizon.
well, yeah, except I showed it here. Right there. Straight ahead and down. Like he likes being ignorant, I guess.
Okay, when I say true horizon, I mean where the sky meets the ground. A
Yeah,
lot of times
got
there
it.
are things blocking your horizon. Trees, buildings, whatever. So that's not a true horizon. This is a true horizon. Sky meeting the ground at eye level. Okay, this is proof of a flat earth.
No, it's not. In yours, you don't have a measurement. You don't know where eye level is. That camera was wobbling up and down. So part of the video, the horizon is high on the screen, and part of the video is low on the screen. You don't know where true level is. You silly
Tell this to
flirt.
people, and many people can't even accept it. But what's amazing is that almost all of these weather balloon, camera footage showing the Earth, almost 100% of them use a GoPro fisheye style lens. The ones that use a normal camera lens all show a flat horizon, and they don't show it bending and curving.
Do they?
Like a wavy line.
Oh, well, funny you should say that. MCToon.net/Dwayne Kellum. I mean, you guys, Dwayne Kellum's a flat earther. And he used this camera here, this Sony A7S II. The lens is a 50mm f1.8. Here's the distortion of the lens. It doesn't exist. I mean, there is always some distortion, but it's trivial. And then here is a picture. You can see there's a bulge in the middle. I'll zoom in a little more. I mean, I just drew a line in Photoshop. There it is on that side. There's a bulge in the middle, and then on that side it's no bulge, right? So StinkyCASH, you lost again. And then if you want to just visually see it, you can press it. Oh, look at the curve of the horizon, man. Ooh. Burn.
Like in this video. This is deception. This is orchestrated.
Well, it's poorly orchestrated by flat earthers. But yes, you are deceiving people.
This is all for a reason, on purpose.
Yes, it's because a GoPro is a cheap camera and it's rugged.
And it's brainwashing you. You're being brainwashed by the New York Times with their nice little capstone pyramid right here.
Oh.
And crescent moon. Okay, a lot of symbolism in their logo.
No, it's just a
New
T.
York Times is Zionist propaganda. It always has been. It always will be.
Oh. No. Well, there was that. They're so desperate. They love to assign stuff all the time. Like the symbolism, right? Like 33 UC is in there. He's like, how much did whatever Neil Armstrong spend to go to the moon? $33. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Why would somebody that was spending so much effort to hide things, why would they just then leak information for uneducated, gullible people to secretly find out? No, they're not. Uneducated, gullible people are just uneducated, gullible people. 33 UC. So, all right, that was, ooh, you know what? He says, so I got another video by him. He says, the sun explained. Do you think he will explain the sun just like he said, just like he explained the eclipse or the moon? No, of course not. But it'll be goofy, and he'll get it all wrong. But oh, that's not it. That's me. That's me. I copy pasted my own URL in there instead of StinkyCASH's for. Got a little clip of his audio there. I'm pulling up his you can watch me do it. I'm pulling up the video. Flat Earth, the Sun Explained. There it is. 118,000 views. 118,000 views of this definitely gonna be wrong explanation. I'll give you the link to it. There, you can give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, as is your wont. Oh my goodness. See, just west equals clockwise, east is counterclockwise. Yeah. If the sun circled above it, the sun would never set. Oh my gosh, this is 5 years ago. So yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be Flat Earth 101 because like remedial flat Earth. Sun circles get larger. We can verify this by observing the sun set farther and farther into the south as we head closer towards the winter solstice. Unless you live south of the equator, in which all of this fails. It's like they just want to pretend that the other half of the world doesn't exist. And to them, it's more than half because it's larger radius there. So silly. All right, I'm gonna take out his audio. I don't think he's gonna. Did he make this and everybody copied him, or is he just copying somebody else's? So like Rob Skiba. Oh my gosh, this is so. I guess being that it's 5 years old, I can expect it to be juvenile and remedial, but so silly. I feel sad that somebody put all this time into the animation for something that's so wrong. All you got to do, let's see here. Let's go to December. And there's December. Oh, let me go back here. So here, I'll go to November. So right there, you got on the top, top right, you've got Sydney, Australia. And according to his map that he's claiming is correct, he's explaining the sun. The sun would rise north of due east, according to StinkyCASH. That's his claim, because that's when it would have to for this. But in reality, when you're in Sydney, Australia, the sun rises in November south of due east, quite a bit south for that part of the world. So wrong, StinkyCASH, wrong again. Everything you do is wrong. It's probably a good idea that you didn't. Come on, your astrological sign is your sun sign. Where the sun was located over a flat Earth at the time of your birth? That would be to the hour, not to the day of the month. Oh my goodness. Does anybody know what time they were born? Put in the chat if you know what time you were born. So yeah, so John Rapp's in Sydney, right? John Rapp, in November, which direction does the sun rise? I mean, it's so easy. It's not like there aren't a billion people that live south of the equator. Oh my goodness. So he did the Capricorn and Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer. Oh, people know what time they were born. And Man Devil goes, I was born at 0 seconds of my life. I like the relative time frame. Very nice. Oh, and this what is this? The cameraman is not standing at the exact North Pole. No kidding. There's mountains. Yes, if he was located at the exact North Pole. Yeah. As the sun gets closer, it appears to rise, except it would never get that close to the ground, of course. Notice how the sun gets smaller as it gets farther away. That's glare. Yeah. Oh, your time of birth is often on your birth certificate. Okay. So I love this one when they bring up these the train tracks, which are parallel. Nobody disagrees that train tracks are parallel, yet they appear to converge. These are crepuscular train tracks. So you never can claim that crepuscular rays in the sky are proof that they're converging because it looks the same as parallel things. Silly flatties. Yeah, there's no such thing as a vanishing point in reality. It's in art there is, but if you get a better device, you can zoom in on it. Yeah, and nothing goes past. Yes, they appear to go down, but they never go past that line there. Yep. You can only see a limited distance to the horizon. Of course, why would right there he's debunking flat Earth again. He says it does not set, but it's setting. Just saying it doesn't set and showing a picture of setting doesn't mean it doesn't set. It just gets further away. Oh, yeah, you can do the math for this. It takes 8th grade. So I think pretty much no flat earther can handle 8th grade math. Thanks for you're welcome, StinkyCASH. Thank you for once again debunking flat Earth. An impossibility to have it that low in the sky. Just do a little bit of math, but he can't. They never can. So, well, what do you think? Like every one of his videos debunks flat Earth so far, I think. Because yeah, the what is the International Space Station? Like he's just because the video didn't go at the same time. Ooh, Irish Demon is available. One more video. So I'm going to watch one more video and then I'm going to bring in Irish Demon. So let's see here. I watched one of his videos yesterday and I'm like, hey, I need to bring him on. So, all right, here is, let's see, is this, yes. Oh, he's like so many. He tries to bring religion into it, you know, as if the real, you know, as if it matters. So just a second, almost past the intro. His intro is really loud. It's always a little too loud. So here we go. This is the biblical flat Earth versus Lucifer's globe Earth. Again, from 2015. Oh my goodness. People, what's this song?
I say the name Jesus Christ,
He's not so angry this time.
an image pops into your head. You can't even help it.
Oh, come on.
And it doesn't even matter if you believe that Jesus actually looked like this or not. When I say the name, artistic interpretations. And when I say the word earth, another image pops.
It's so dramatic.
An uncontrollable image. When I say earth, you see a ball.
Yeah,
You can't even help it.
it's measured.
You have been shown the image of the globe.
Let's see, who got it first? Citizen 9, no, JPP 3030. Moonlight Sonata. Is that the first one? Looks like it. Looks like it. Clive Wells, Enter Sandman. I'm with you there, man. I'm with you there. That's a good song.
Over and over and over again, to the point where I can't even say the word earth without you seeing an image of the globe. But that's all it is. It's an image. Just like the images of Jesus Christ. You have never seen a genuine photo of the earth from space.
Really? Strange you would say that. Let me just... I don't have this on my website. I should probably get this on my website. A couple links to it. There's, of course, 15,000 pictures from the Apollo missions that are available on the website. What website is it? What website is it? Flickr. On Flickr. So let's see. Sun. Where is it? High altitude. I have a big. Here it is. Nope. What's the? There we go. Pictures and video from space and satellites. 15,000 pictures of the Earth. Well, they're not all of the Earth, but 15,000 photos taken from on the Apollo mission. So here's one of them, a real picture of the Earth taken on wet film. Now here's the thing, and a lot of people, I looked this up. You can go. So the people that did this Flickr archive, they went to the archive and scanned every one of them. So if you look at this photograph has a name. It's AS12, so it's Apollo 12-50. It's probably the roll 50 or I don't know. And then 7348, right? It's a Hasselblad image from magazine 50/Q, right? So now they went there. Well, could anybody go there? Well, certainly we could. Anybody can go there. If you want to go to Austin, Texas and look at them, you can. I just put the link in the description. So that's what I want to put on my website is just this reference here. So whenever somebody's like, pictures from space, you got to prove it. Like, I'm sorry, you need to prove that they're CGI or they're faked somehow. So there's the link. Go there yourself, bring a forensics expert, and find out, do the analysis on these original pictures. You can do it. You can go there and see for yourself if they are faked. And if you don't do that, you cannot claim that they're fake because you didn't look at them. You have no evidence that they're faked. So there you go. There's lots of pictures of Earth. And if you ever did a film camera back in the day, let's see, you know that you have tons of like extra pictures, tons of them. So all right, yeah, here's a better one. Like just like pictures of you in a mirror that are or pictures of your foot or pictures of just whatever that didn't work out. And so that's what these are. These are bunch, and there's a whole bunch of crap pictures too, just garbage ones. They scan the entire archive, but these are cool. These are some pictures of here it is, the module there, pictures of the the color correction stuff there, right? Pictures of the moon. It just goes on and on. You can spend hours on this. 15,000 pictures of the Apollo archive. Just go look at them. There you go. There's Buzz. It's Apollo 11 right there. So Neil took, I think, a lot of these. Yeah, there's Neil. And there's Buzz. There he is. So you're like, oh, they didn't really go. Well, they certainly did. You got evidence that these were somehow faked? You don't. So pound sand, man. So there you go. I've seen real pictures from space.
All they have are CGI, composites, and artistic renderings.
Unsubstantiated
What the image of
claims.
Jesus Christ and the image of the globe have in common is that they both come from the.
I'm curious. Cinnamon Control says, I'm curious. Actually, do any of them have stars that you know of that would rain on some flat Earth parades? Oh, if there were stars in the pictures, they generally don't, because you can't expose properly to get the stars. And if there are stars in a picture of the Earth, you know that it's not a real photograph of the Earth. That's the easiest way to know it's not real. And the flat earthers don't understand anything about photography generally. So, but so there's a book called Understanding Exposure. There it is, mctoon.net/stuff. If you want to know about exposure, simple stuff. I thought one of the two. Oh, yeah, I'll explain that again in a second here, Martin H. But yeah, Understanding Exposure is a great book to understand exposure and why you should not see stars in those photographs. So, yeah, Martin H said, I thought I saw some stars in there. And let's see, I'll find, I think, what you're talking about. Yeah, right here. You look at this this one here, and you see what might look like stars, but I think this is just debris from the ship. Like, so typically you have oxygen that freezes, it solidifies when it's out in space there, and so then when you disconnect the airlocks, you get all this stuff that goes. Stuff that goes out, and so that this is probably debris of some sort, potentially frozen oxygen. So does that answer your question there? Who said that? Martin H. Yeah. The stars are in front. Yeah, the stars are in front of the capsule. I mean, that totally tells us what it is. That is debris. It is not stars. It's just crap. And also, if you move away, you see there's less as you move farther off. Right, so there's a high density near it and a low density away from it. Again, that tells us it's not stars. It's junk. So there you go. All right, let's finish up this video.
Same evil and corrupt institution.
Oh, you're so dramatic.
You know, in the years and centuries following the crucifixion of Christ,
You don't.
Christianity
All right,
was actually illegal.
that's enough. You're not making this religious. It's not religious. So, ooh, check Wolfie's new footage of eclipsed satellites from Esteban Ilabaca. Did I get that right? I hope I did. Esteban Ilabaca. Yes, that I haven't seen that. So, all right, here goes the link to Irish Demon. So we can come on, hopefully. So anyway, that let's see. I had one or two more from him, but let's see. I don't think we're gonna bother because one of them was just the Doc Brown house, and then he made a claim that Doc Brown. Where is it? He claimed that Doc Brown is somebody. Let's see. I gotta make a change so that. Enable waiting. Yeah, disable waiting room. So there you go, Irish Demon. The link has been sent. So yeah, I gotta find that. Just the name of it. He's like, Doc Brown is Emmett Von Braun. So there you go. All right. I see. Good evening, Irish Demon. How are you?
Hello, how's it going?
It's good. You're nice and loud. There we go.
That's good. My gain might be up a little bit.
Oh, no, I adjusted it. You're fine.
Oh, all good. No worries. How are things?
Oh, it's great. So I watched. So yesterday was Labor Day. I'd been vacationing for 2 weeks. Got back and had a bunch of stuff to do around the house, and I was working on stuff, and I'm like, oh, what do I want to listen to while I'm. So sometimes you want to listen to things, and sometimes you want to watch things, and so you got to pick because the phone's going to be in my pockets. I'm like, oh, Irish Demon. I'll read some emails. So I watched your video on reading some emails.
Oh, the hate mails.
Yes, the hate mails. I'm like,
I'm getting a ton.
Lucky I don't get hate mail like that.
Yeah, I know. I talked to a few people about it, and I think people seem to think that I really get under people's skin. I think because of my attitude is very much it's really hard to explain. I think I just kind of like to point and laugh, and I do it in such a way that is from what I understand from feedback, the way I do it is kind of frustrating. Because I don't just call them a fucking idiot, blah blah blah. I don't go on the full attack. So it's very hard for them to get the release. So I do it in a very frustrating way. And I think that might be why. Apparently I'm talked a lot about on one of their Discord groups. And I think a lot of it is coming from there. So but,
I suppose a lot of them, and as evidenced in your readings, are religious flirts. And I suppose your name might offend them a little bit.
I think so. When I did the Kent Holven video in the early days, that was that blew up with people saying things like, "We are a good Christian family, and we sat down to watch this as a family, but we couldn't because you swore so much." I'm like, you didn't sit down to watch my video. Come on, it's so obvious that they obviously saw because apparently Kent Holven was talking about me on his thing, and I was like, all right, send some people my way. That's all good by me. But so I get a lot of pushback, but I also go out there and actively comment on a lot of videos, which I think, really bothers people. They see me commenting and then they get pushback.
You get pushback quick.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. And
big time.
I go in spurts because so many block, right? They block you quick.
Oh,
yeah. They can't. And you know what I do with the people that are, I put them on auto approval a lot of the time. So if I'm doing a video on somebody like Lee Garrett, who's an anti-5G nutcase, I commented on one of his videos and he deleted it. And I was talking with him on Facebook about it, and I'm like, you turd. And I'm like, and I took a screen. I added him in my auto approved, and I sent a screenshot on Facebook there. I'm like, this is what they do. They block. I auto approve. I'm not scared. I'm not scared
of the truth.
I'm not scared of criticism. But
one of my favorite tactics is what I like to call the pin of shame. So if somebody goes on and comments something particularly nasty, I like it and love it. So I make sure they know I've read it, and then they get that pin of shame, and people jump on it. It's a bit of fun.
I love that.
I do get jobs. Sometimes I never delete comments because I am a free speech advocate. But when there's a call to physical violence or to dox somebody or attack somebody, then I will delete it. We had one guy the other day commenting saying that I was deleting his comments, and I was on a live stream of PhD Tony. We're on right now.
Rayism, right?
Rayism, yeah. We were like, come on, we're here right now. Come on, chat with us. And he was like, I'm not downloading Skype. And I'm like, dude, it takes 2 seconds. If you care so much about, he was going at me saying like, oh, you're obviously a shill. You only care about the money and you don't care about the truth. I'm like, if you really cared about the truth, you just go download Skype. It takes 2 minutes, and that's happened a few times where they've backed down. And I'm not a debater really, but I think they're afraid to come on with me because they know I'll hold their feet to the flames.
Yeah.
Because that's just how I do. And I take a very common sense approach to all of this stuff. I mean, you know, talking science with flat earthers is like, you know, explaining moon phases to my chihuahua. She might enjoy hearing me talk, but there's no point because she's not taking it in. You know, it's kind of pointless. But it's a lot of fun though. It's a lot of fun winding them up.
Yeah.
Really.
Here. I mean, right here. Opinionated asshole says, we flat earthers are not into that religious rap. Only the shills are. And of course, what do the religious flat earthers say? They are the only real flat earthers.
They are
and
the
the
only
ones that are
yeah.
not religious are the shills.
Are the shills. You know, the funny thing about flat earth as well is, you know, a lot of people within that community, because they're so, I think it's mostly ego, to be honest. They want to be right. They are right as far as they're concerned. So as soon as somebody goes against their narrative, they shut that person down. He's a shill. You know, we saw it happen with Bob Nodell and Mark Sargent. They're all considered shills now. And
Dubé's a shill. Globebusters are shills.
Yep. It seems a lot of it's jealousy. As soon as they have a bit of notoriety and start making money and have a lot of subs, they're shills straight away. It's pretty funny though. I mean, to see them implode on each other is just.
But they'll let him go. They say Bob Nodell's a shill, but they keep going back to his channel and stuff, right?
Always.
So
always. That's the thing. I mean, I feel like over the past, especially 2 months, I don't know what's happened, but Flat Earth seems to have massively lost steam. It
really?
Seems to have. Oh, I think so. I feel like it's slowed down. Maybe it's because I'm more used to it now, more used to seeing it. But I'm just trying to work out what's going to be the end of Flat Earth. What's going to be the finishing blow, I guess.
I think I know. I think I know.
Go for it.
I think here. So first of all, I put Irish Demon's channel in the video.
Oh, thank you.
The live stream. I'll put it in the right now, so I don't forget. I'm gonna put it in the description too. So if you've not yet subscribed to Irish Demon, do as I have done and subscribe to him. So
thank you very much.
So what I think. You know, giving them evidence doesn't do anything because they can't comprehend it. You show them the impossibility of flat Earth by doing some 8th grade math. They can't comprehend it. What will end it is the ones that are super convinced, they will never. They're done, right? But
absolutely,
when everybody knows somebody that's been to space, no new flat earthers will ever happen, right? That's ends all of their. I mean, it's really evangelism because it's religion, right? All of their evangelism ends the day that that Nathan Thompson walks up to somebody and says, the earth is flat. And they go, well, my grandpa just went to space.
Yeah, exactly.
What is Nathan Thompson going to say to that? Well, he's lying. No, my grandpa's not lying to me. Well, it was you know,
a drug.
Yeah, drugs or screens, LCD screens over the right, but he was weightless for half an hour, or you know, well, they're on the plane, the vomit comet. It's not a half an hour long. You know, nobody will buy their crap anymore. But that I think that's the only thing. When they go to the moon, they'll just say it's fake. You go to Mars, they'll just say it's fake.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. All those things they just say fake because they're already saying the same crap. They're saying it's fake. You don't have real pictures of the Earth from space. Well, here's 15,000 of them taken before CGI existed. Please explain.
Exactly.
They're fake.
I saw somebody comment about the original photos from the Apollo missions, and they were like, oh, it's clearly CGI. It's like, CGI wasn't invented until like 73. I think it was used on, I think it was Westworld was the first movie to use video CGI.
Yeah, and the quality is terrible.
Oh yeah, it's awful. It's atrocious. Even by today's standards, we can't really get things that match reality to a very acceptable level. It's there's always a discrepancy. You can always see something doesn't quite feel right about it. And you know, I've done a few debunks of like the whole blue screen on NASA thing. I sent you a meme if you have it there. So the bottom one says NASA only used blue screen for the fake stuff, which is everything. Now I saw this screen before, and where this whole story stemmed from, I'll just explain while you're getting it up. There was a video of former President Bush Sr. and when he went to visit the ISS control center, and in the background you could see what's his name? God, I should remember this. The English astronaut, Tim Peake, in the background, and there was a blue screen, and flat earthers lost their damn minds. They were like, oh my God, there's the blue screen. Yeah, there it is right there. They're like, oh my God, there's the blue screen. Proof they use blue screen. So I was like, okay, let's Google this. Took probably 10 seconds. I Googled NASA blue screen. And then the other picture I sent you of, I think that's ESA astronaut, the Italian guy, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
And so if you go to NASA's website, they have the education section of their website. And there's probably 1,000 videos where they're using this screen to demonstrate how things move in microgravity. And I explained that to a whole bunch of people on the NASA Lives Facebook group. A few of them said, oh, okay, that's fair enough. That, you know, I can accept that. Yeah. And then the rest were like, nah, it's just a cover. It's just a cover. For when they got caught out live on TV, I was like, but those videos had been up like 12 years before then. So how do you explain that? Yeah. They're like, oh, it was just in case they get caught. I'm like, oh my God, man. He can't win.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing.
The just in case and the like, yet the same people are like, they're putting 33 on things and they're doing this and they have these secret hidden messages and like,
yeah.
If they wanted to communicate stuff to their people, why wouldn't they just send them an email?
That exactly an encoded email, or you know,
or just at the next meeting.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, fellow lizard people. I mean, I thought they could like communicate, you know, through magic, you know, all this kind of stuff. It's like, come on, dude, like. The thing is, right, I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day. He's not a flat earther and he's not a space denier, but he does believe that they're lying about the ISS and they're lying about space, whatever. And I said, look, just straight off the bat, why would they be doing that? What's the benefit? What's the end game? And they said, $52 million a year, man. I was like, the US Postal Service costs more than that per day.
I know.
I mean, it's really $52 billion is not $52 million in the grand scheme of things is not that much money for a federal agency. And not to mention, they still have hundreds of thousands of employees and contractors that they need to pay. So they're probably not making that.
It would cost a lot more than that, I think, to fake it.
Absolutely.
And the Postal Service, the USDA. USDA?
The Drug Administration?
No. The one that they pay farmers to not grow corn.
Oh, the FDA?
No. My wife's aunt works for them, and like she is one of the people that you know. It's to increase demand, right? So if like don't grow, so then the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
Department of Agriculture.
Yeah. USDA. Yeah, I'm right. Yep. Yeah, they have a budget larger than NASA. If it's just about that, why?
All corn is CGI. Confirmed. But yeah, it's just like the thing is, right? My arguments always come from the common sense approach. How many people the world over alive today, forgetting the people over the last 7 or 8 decades now that have been involved in space flight and space development? How many people in the world are involved in that industry today? A couple of 100,000 at least, either directly or indirectly. And yet Clinton couldn't keep what happened in the Oval Office a secret, and there were only 2 of them knew. You know, so it's just, and they say it's compartmentalization. Do you really think that the guy who's building a satellite doesn't know how a rocket works, or doesn't know how to?
Do you think that the guy that is doing the spherical Earth math to tell the rocket where to go, what to do, and how to and when to orbit. And he's interacting with the software that he wrote. Somebody on the other side of it would have to be writing the abstraction to fake all of that. So where's that person? And you need a lot of people to do that, to fake it, right? So, there's a satellite that the government of Bangladesh paid SpaceX to launch. And then they told all of the people who are going to receive a signal from that where to point it based on three-dimensional spherical trigonometry. And if they point it there and they're not within, 1 or 2 degrees off, they get a signal.
Yeah.
Who knows where it's actually pointing at, right? They would say balloons. But there's a person now. So that was developed by a large group of people. And now it's fake somewhere, right? They handed it off to SpaceX.
Exactly.
So now did SpaceX reverse engineer their entire satellite so that when the people in Bangladesh are communicating with their satellite, that they're telling it where to go, what to do, where to move, how to... that it's not really there and it's just faking them? Or are those people in on it too? Who's compartmentalized and who's not? You can't just say it's compartmentalized. That's so lame. That's the worst excuse.
The thing is, it only takes one person to lift the lid, and they might say, oh, but that person will go missing, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, maybe, but we still have nobody from NASA or any other space company say, oh, you know what, I've been working on this for 20 years. It's actually all fake. It's like, come on, man. Like, it's never going to happen. Like even if you look at all you have to do is look up at the sky, right? And I have an amazing position here in this studio. If I look out the window, at the right time, obviously, I can actually see the ISS pass right over through my window. And the thing about that is there is nothing on Earth that can travel that fast within Earth's atmosphere. It would be absolutely shredded to pieces, and it's simple. I mean, you look up, you see this thing go across at an incredible rate of speed, and they don't get it. Actually, Eileen Dover, who's a very prominent member of the community, she proved that that is nonsense by using using the ISS's vanishing point on Earth. So where the Earth gets in the way of the sun hitting the ISS essentially, and it just goes dark in the middle of the sky. There's no other explanation for that. Oh, I guess somebody went up and switched off the light, or the bulb went out maybe on the balloon. But,
somebody on the other side of the compartmentalization turned off the illumination of
exactly.
So that it all works predictably with the spherical Earth. I mean, to do all that fakery is harder than to do it for real. So you need a bigger department of people than you have.
Exactly.
Like 2 to 1, maybe.
For real. Exactly. Oh. And then you also need people to police it and make sure that nobody's spilling the beans.
Well, there's only one way to make a person not talk.
And
right?
We all know what that is.
So you have to have all this dirt on everybody convincing them to not talk. So you have to have... I don't know how you could keep that many people silent.
You just couldn't. I mean, it's always going to come down. One guy's like, you know what? Screw you. I'm going to just say it anyway. Kill me if you want to. You're always going to get somebody like that. I mean, it's a given. It's I just can't believe that people still believe this. Like, legitimately believe that this is a thing. Like, I had a conversation with a friend the other day, actually a different friend. We were talking about the moon landings, about, faking the moon landings and all that kind of stuff. And I will concede that there may have been good reason to, if they really needed to, get one up on Russia, whatever. Yeah, okay, I can concede that is plausible. That's, not outside the realm of possibility, except for the fact that we do have all the evidence that they did go there. We've had accidents in space, sadly, ones that resulted in loss of life, but also ones that didn't result in loss of life, and they didn't land on the moon and they came home just barely, so why would they bother with all of that? There's so many questions where you have to ask why bother. Like one of my absolute favorites is, I've got 2 SpaceX favorites. One is landing on the drone ship. Oh, how come it always cuts out when they're landing on the drone ship? What are they hiding? Well, it's CGI anyway, right? So why not just CGI it in landing?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. and the other one is space mice. I'm on a bit of a vendor of space mice at the moment. So I live stream all of the SpaceX launches, and I always say to everybody, just after separation, we're going to have ignition of the second stage, and guess what? You're going to see all over the engine is space mice, and it happens every single time because there's a bleed nozzle just inside the foil covering so they increase the pressure of the gas, the liquid oxygen coming out of the back to create like negative pressure or something to ignite it, something like that. And when it's ignited, there's an excess of that liquid oxygen, so it goes out through the bleed valve. And what happens to liquid oxygen in a vacuum? It freezes into little lumps, and some of them happen to look like mice every now and again, and it happens every single time. And
now, when you seen, you don't get a feeling for how big that engine is in the video.
No, you don't.
But then you go and you look at pictures of the engine next to a person. It's really, really big. So those space mice aren't space mice. Those are rodents of unusual size.
Yes, they'd be space donkeys. I mean,
and I don't believe that rodents of unusual size exist.
Except maybe in New York, but even they wouldn't be like you just have to look at the sheer size of that craft, right? I mean, the engines on the initial, the first stage, the booster, the Raptor engines, they are comparatively small. The Merlin engine, which is the second stage engine, is enormous. I think it's about, looking at it side on, it's like 2.5 meters.
Yeah, the bell
wide.
is way bigger. Yeah,
enormous. It's enormous. And I've had people say, well, how can it have fire in space if it's a vacuum? Because it takes its own oxygen with it, which explains the space mice also. I had another guy said, you can't prove that oxygen does that in a vacuum because you can't have a vacuum on Earth. I'm like, are you sure about that? Because you absolutely can. And I showed him a video of a guy who made his own vacuum chamber, poured liquid oxygen in, hit the button, and it just went into a block of ice. And it looked exactly like what we see on the spacecraft. And they're like, no. Come on, man. You just can't, it gets to a point where you just got to laugh and say, all right, dude, whatever. Just, But yeah, you can't win sometimes.
So I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Have you ever seen Princess Bride?
I don't know, actually. I may have. Let me look this up. Princess.
Because the rodents of unusual size is a reference from that. I set you up to do it, and you missed it.
Oh. No, that's before my time, I think. Yeah, 87. Yeah, no.
Jordan Sweet, who's younger than you, is saying, keep making the Princess Bride references.
Oh, well, I can't. I have no explanation.
All right, you have some homework. You're going to have to watch that.
Yeah, I will. I'll check that out. Well, yeah, it's I think as well the Artemis missions are going to have a huge. It's going to have a profound effect once we have HD images and live video coming from In fact, that's Artemis right there.
Oh, your fish.
Yeah, this one here, she came from Japan, and the other one's Apollo. She's named in honor of the Artemis missions, but I think that's going to be a huge pinch point for them when you literally have 24-hour live streams coming from the moon, and they're going to have to like watching Mark Sargent and those clowns try to do a live debunk of the Dragon Demo 2 mission, and they were like, did you see that? I'm like, dude, they changed cameras. It's one of the biggest live productions of all time. I mean, come on. It's mind-blowing, man. It really is, but it's fun.
Yep. So was there somebody named Rose in that live debunk stream?
I believe there was. Yeah, I think there might have been. Yeah.
I think she's the one I'm debating on Friday on Modern Day Debate. I don't even know. I don't even know who it is. Just Dirth's friend Rose is all I know from James at Modern Day Debate. So.
And it doesn't even matter because it's just the same rhetoric all over again. I mean, the one I enjoy, but not so much anymore because he started getting really kind of nasty. But Flat Earth Aussie Jesus.
Yeah.
I just love how he basically directly explains gravity. Like he literally says it's gravity, just doesn't say the word. He just calls it something else. But yeah, he's another very fun one to play around with. But there's none of them really bring any serious debate. You know, it's just rhetoric and shouting, basically.
Yeah. So, yes, all right. So Glober Mom is saying Rose hosted that stream. That's what I thought. I listened to that stream while walking through the store.
That's what I do too.
So they were in my pocket while I was looking for an LOL doll for one of my 33 kids.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, my niece is an LOL nut job too. Yep. Loves them.
Can't get enough. I missed there's like when the quarantine started, I'm like, whoa, my gosh, you know, what do we do? And this kid of mine is super extrovert like me, right? And she's like, it's cold outside, and I bought a bunch of swings to put on the trees and like all these things. Then the 2 trees in the front yard came down, and so like we got trees in the back, and we have more swings than trees. But she's like, I'm like, oh, I'll get her an LOL doll like every week. And then like this one series, I missed the one, right? And there's like 5 or 6 in the series, and there's the one that I didn't get, and it's for sale for $250 on eBay. Nope. You're not getting that $20 one. Nope.
No way. That's crazy. Yeah, those kids, man, they like, I remember when I was a kid, you got like an Action Man once a year kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you kind of made, you know, or a skateboard or something. But now they just like, they need a new thing every week. It's really, really funny. Yeah, they're expensive, that's for sure.
So, listen, somebody sent me a message here. I gotta put it. Oh, I have too many windows, too many tabs. Where'd it go?
So where are you at now with the how bad of an MC are you now?
How bad?
Are you at number 4 or?
Well, I couldn't keep track, right? Like basically every guest that I've had lately is a terrible rapper. So the guy I had earlier tonight, Simon P. He's a terrible rapper. I had Dion Smo. He's an awful rapper. They played another one from somebody else a couple weeks ago. But I'll accept that I'm worse than Multi Tom Tom.
Oh my goodness!
So if you've not seen it, he did that rap, and then I took a montage of clips of Robbie Davidson dancing at the different Flat Earth conventions, and I put the rap on it, and it's on my channel if you want to see Flat Earth rap.
Yeah.
And so that I'm like, that's the worst rap ever. So then I'm gonna be the second worst. So I'll just be
Multi Tom Tom's. I just don't know how you could have no rhythm and then also have music that completely doesn't match what you're doing. I played it for Mrs. Demon, and she was just like, what is this guy smoking? I mean, that, like, as she said, I think he's smoking lead chips, which I can definitely. But yeah, so yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I got voted the 4th sexiest beardsman out of 4.
Oh, nice.
Which I don't understand how that's possible, because PhD Tony's on that panel, so I am prettier than that man. I don't get it.
You sure about that? I mean,
I think I am. I mean,
I'm not just colorblind. I'm also handsome blind. I can't tell.
I don't know. I feel like I got a raw deal there. Because when we were live, my face wasn't on the screen. Because there was an issue with Johnny O's computer. So I'm thinking I need a recount. I think it was mail-in voter fraud, and it needs to be addressed immediately. And people need to go and vote twice. Quite simply, that's the key there, I think. But yeah, I think I got a raw deal anyway.
Nice. So somebody sent me. Did you watch any of the stream earlier?
No, I was out. I was out at an appointment. Yeah.
So I was going to debate Simon P on 5G, and then he brought in Mark Steele. Do you know who Mark Steele is?
Mark Steele is the guy from NASA Lies, right?
No, that's
Marcus Steele.
Yeah, this is 5G, not Flat Earth. So
yes,
Mark Steele is the main, like one of the big conspiracy idiots on 5G. He's making claims that it's that streetlights created in about 2007 are using WiGig, which was defined in the early 2000s, are 5G just because. And 5G was specified in 2014. So they must have had a time machine. Anyway, so here is
that's the
yeah.
The
So
5G thing is a whole other world.
Oh yeah, it's tough. It's a lot. You can show somebody a picture of the Earth, right? You can show a 3-year-old a picture of the Earth from space.
Absolutely.
They're like, oh, that's a globe. But you can't describe the radio frequency spectrum to a 5-year-old, right?
Yeah.
So,
No, not at all.
all right. So here's from somebody, I won't say his name, but and this isn't really leaking anything, but here's a message that he sent to Lion Roar, which is Mark Steele's name on. This looks like it's in Facebook, right? MCToon embarrassed you tonight. Haha. Turn it in, you loser, or debate me directly. I'm an electrical engineer who has been in cellular telecommunications for over 20 years. You scamming loser. So there you go. Man. Mark Steele. So Mark Steele kind of tried to ambush it, and he just made claims. He's like, you lie. But he never supported it. So he's basically
they never back it up.
He's basically a flat earther. So
yeah, for sure. Like I find the it's you know I think this is a common knowledge thing anyway. But you know they need us to provide unbelievable amounts of evidence, and you know you show them something and they go, but hold on, this tiny little part of that might not be right, so I'm not going to accept any of the evidence. And then you ask them, what's gravity? And they just go, oh, just buoyancy and density. Yeah, but can you explain it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know, things are heavy, things are not heavy, you know, that's how it works. And it's like, really? You're asking me for all of this evidence and you can't give me anything. I mean, there's nothing. There's literally nothing that works on a flat earth model that I can see. No, pretty much nothing. Like the one that gets me, it's one I bring up quite frequently. So I live in Australia now. And my family live in Ireland, and one of my best friends lives in down at the bottom of Argentina. So when I'm in Ireland visiting family, I can see the North Pole, the North Star, right? When I'm in Australia, I can't. And one of the explanations that I was given on a live stream before, I asked the guy, how come my mom and dad can see the North Star, but I can't? They said, oh, because you're too far away. I was like, oh, okay. Well, then how come my friend in South America can see the same stars as I can, and we're twice as far away from each other? Oh, it's two different luminaries. And South Africa, they have another luminary that's identical as well. And yeah, they can't explain. That can never be explained. Like it just simply.
Yeah, I like that. The distance is like the sun sets because it's far away, but if you do the math on different parts of the world, it's set in one part of the world and you can't see it because it's too far away, but other parts of the world it's farther according to the flat earth map.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. I mean, they say things like
they can't handle 8th grade math. That's it. It's that simple.
Yeah,
right?
they can't see in anything over 2 dimensions. It's just the comprehension levels. It's very much like early man. Like early man knew how fast he could go. Like he knew how fast his steed could go. He knew roughly how fast a rock fell. And that's all he needed to know. He needed to know when the sun came up, when it went down. He didn't need to know why it did or why it didn't. And flat earthers are like that. They're very much like, well, this is what we see. It's like, yeah, okay, but things look a certain way. It doesn't mean that that's what they're doing, or it's. I mean, they say like, oh, so the Earth is just arbitrarily going around the sun. What's making it go around the sun? I'm like, what's making the sun and the moon spin around in the sky according to your map? Magic? Like Sky Daddy? That's usually the answer, I think, there. But yeah,
some of them say that it, like Flat Earth Aussie Jesus, it floats on the atmosphere. Like,
yeah.
Wait a second. This is they're much more dense than the atmosphere they're floating on.
Exactly.
By your model, it would work.
Yeah, no, I've had it out with Aussie Jesus quite a few times. He says it floats. One of the things he said is it floats on ionized gases in the atmosphere. And I'm like, okay, but where can you prove that at all? Like, we can go up really, really high and check if you want. Like, it's not that hard to check. It's not that expensive. I mean, how much does it cost to put a microsat on a sounding rocket? I think it's maybe 20 grand or something.
Yeah.
Surely they could club in 20 grand and put their own camera up.
They don't want to put their belief to the test.
No,
Right.
not at all.
Because they could have booked a trip to Antarctica. They could apply to work at Antarctica.
Absolutely.
They could have taken Wolfie's offer of one of the Southern Hemisphere flights that apparently don't exist. They could go on that flight themselves. They could take the MiG up to space and get a refund if they don't see the curvature. Right? Any of these things that they could do, but they absolutely refuse to do. Even the ones that have the money to do it, like a Flat Earth Millionaire, could do any of those things, but he won't.
Easily.
He absolutely won't. No.
And even if they did, they just call him a shill then.
Yeah.
You know, once he
that's
real.
absolutely it. So I before he died, I interviewed Mad Mike Hughes.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now to be clear, his publicist made it clear after he died that he was not a flat earther. A lot of people did not think he was. And so and so I'm like, and I kind of suspected that, but when I interviewed the guy building the rocket, who's not a flat earther, Waldo Stokes, he's like, Mike is a flat earther. Like, so I interviewed Mike, and then I interviewed Waldo, like a month later, and Waldo was adamant, and even after Mike died, Waldo put out a thing on Facebook saying the same thing. I'm like, so I'm kind of confused, but it doesn't matter. Like, any flat earther that goes up to space went in one
of those balloons,
Blue Origin,
or
whatever.
Blue Origin. Yep.
Comes back and says, I was weightless for half an hour. I saw the Earth. Every flat earther just says,
Paul,
you were bought off.
Shill.
You were never really a flat earther. So
that's what they'll always say, and I think it's kind of actually like in the even just pre-Renaissance era when somebody came up with a new scientific theory or a new theory on theology, instantly they were called a heretic and burned at the stake. And that's kind of the same thing. It's if you question the narrative from outside, you're just seen as the enemy anyway, so they don't care. If you question the narrative from the inside, you're seen as a shill. We saw it with Seek Truth, Speak Truth. As soon as he came out as a reformed flat earther, instantly they went on the offensive, calling him a shill and all this kind of stuff. I think we all knew that was going to happen, but yeah, they're just, it's unstoppable. Like, we're even starting to see it now more in the media. Like in Joe Rogan had a podcast with what's his name, that crazy conspiracy theorist guy, Alex Jones.
Yeah.
And it was one of the most entertaining podcasts I've ever watched. It was very funny. But this guy came on, he's a cage fighter and he's a flat earther. And he said to Alex Jones that he believes the earth is flat. And Alex Jones was like, that's nonsense, man. I'll give you $1 million, man. You can take a boat, go to Antarctica. I'll give you $1 million. All this kind of stuff. And the guy, they won't accept it because they don't want to actually prove themselves wrong. And I think that's the fundamental issue, that they believe they're right. And once belief comes into it, once faith is the abandonment of reason. So once faith is involved, there is no reasoning at that point. It's just apologetics.
Yeah. Eddie Bravo is the guy's name, right?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that crazy nut job. He's. I actually really don't like when he goes on the podcast because I find him very irritating. But that was really funny. That podcast was great.
There was a boxer that came out recently, not Mike Tyson, some smaller boxer.
Anthony Joshua, I think it was. Maybe
doesn't ring a bell.
British guy,
boxer,
yeah. I think it was.
Anyway, so I challenged him on Twitter to debate. Of course, he didn't respond, but.
Oh yeah, they never. Oh, Carl Froch.
Yes,
Carl Froch.
Yep.
Carl Froch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when you get punched in the head for a living,
you don't.
It's inevitable.
You're not the thinkers. You don't trust them for the thinking parts.
It makes no sense. I mean, we've never seen a boxer go to space for a good reason. All that head injuries and
let's see, little Wolf, aka 82, says at least boxers have an excuse.
Yeah. Yes. Frontal lobe damage is usually the excuse there. It's I mean, I think a lot of them, if you were to take a cross section of the, say, most prominent 20 flat earthers out there, you're either going to get people who have some fairly, like, I'm studying psychology, so I have a fairly good insight into it. You either have people who have a pretty severe mental health issue or brain injuries in some situations for some of them, or you have just grifters just trying to get money.
Certainly
trying
some
to
grifters, yeah.
I can't remember who it was that said it. Maybe it was you that said it. There's two types of flat earthers: the ones who sell T-shirts and the ones who buy T-shirts.
Oh, that wasn't me. That sounds right though.
Oh, was it
like
not?
that.
I can't remember who it was. I thought it was you, but if you say so. But yeah, it is true. You have your Mark Sargents and your Dubays, and then you have your other.
Yeah, Dubay. So Simon Dan has done 2 videos on Dubay in the last 2 Fridays,
brilliant.
and challenged Dubay to debate me on his channel. Silence, absolute silence. So be looking for the 3rd installment. So let's see. Opinionated Asshole for $5 says, since we don't agree, I can't send a super chat. Fook you, MCToon rocks. So there you go.
There we go.
All right, so here's what I have. I have Kevin Ivan Mitchell coming on here in 3 minutes. It's going to be a separate live stream. If you want, I'd love to have you stick around and we can have.
I'd be glad to.
I think that's going to be just like a friendly chat. That's what I'm hoping it's going to be with him. I'm going to have to. I'll shut this down. I'll go to the new one. If the mods want to grab the link and pop it in, I have to do a Riley.
Yeah, same. I got to get my glasses as well.
Yes. So let me grab that. I'm going to send the link to Keith. It's Keith Ivan Mitchell. All right. And part of the deal is I kept getting his name wrong. So sorry if I got it wrong. All right. So we'll shut this down. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Everybody, and Irish Demon, myself, and Keith will be here, and we're going to have a talk about Flat Earth with Keith. So thanks, everybody, for the super chats. Thanks for watching. If you like it, give a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down and tell us why. And make some good hate mail for me, people, because I need to catch up with Irish Demon on the hate mail. And if you're not sub to Irish Demon, go ahead and do that.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you in a little bit, everybody.
Yeah. See you in a bit.